Hello, welcome. My name is Jennifer Medina. I am the Professional Learning Events and Programs Coordinator at Shape America. Today, I'll be demonstrating how to submit a presentation proposal, which is a non-research proposal for the 2026 Shape America National Convention and Expo in Kansas City, Missouri, on our Shape America website. All presentation submission proposals must be submitted online through the submission site by the deadline of Thursday, August 14th of this year, 2025, at 11:59 p.m. Pacific Time. Once you're on the call for proposals page, as I am now, take a moment to look over the page and familiarize yourself with it. Please take time to go over the submission resources listed under the header Helpful Resources, which is right here. See, we have presentation submission information, research abstract submission information, research symposium submission information. We have the tutorials, which you're watching right now, and we have the call for proposals FAQ. You can also go, if you go up top here, you could automatically jump to your submit your proposal, which will take you to the steps that you will need, 4 steps total to start your proposal. Once you're ready, you will click this pink button here. You can also select submit resources, and this will bring you to the bottom of the page where you can access the schedule at a glance, submitting a competitive proposal. If you want to learn more about what the Learning Leader Spotlight Power and Play Showcase sessions are, you can do that here. You can access the justification toolkit, and you can also get answers to some questions you may have under our FAQs. Shape America is looking for dynamic, high-quality proposals that address timely issues impacting the HPE professionals and students. They're also looking offer for them to offer actionable strategies and innovative solutions and reflect best practices in instruction, assessment, research, and leadership. Okay, so let's get started. So to get started, let's start at the beginning of the page. Like I said, you could jump to start your proposal, or you could just scroll down. Please make notice of the important dates. Our convention dates are March 17th to the 21st of the year 2026, and the proposal deadline is August 14th, 2025. Okay, so to submit your proposal, you have to complete all 4 steps. So step 1 is to review the presenter agreement. All presenters must read and agree to the presenter agreement before being listed on a session proposal. So if you select presenter agreement, you can take some time to review it and if you have co-presenters, they should review and agree to it as well. Okay, go back, stop. Next is step 2. And it's for you to choose the correct submission category. We ask that you please review the available submission categories and select the one that most appropriately is applicable to your session content. Our submission categories have changed a little this year, so please take some time to review our categories. Let me go to step 3. Step 3 is to review the submission guide. So you just want to make sure that you know what you need prior to get started with your submission. So like I said, here you can find information on all 3 forms of call for proposals that you can submit, but currently I'm only going to go over the presentation submission, which is non-research. And then step 4 is to start your submission, which will get started. Please note that you do not need to complete your proposal in one sitting after you begin. You will receive a confirmation email with the session or abstract, but in this case, session ID and a password, which will allow you to return to edit your submission anytime before the August 14th deadline. I'm going to go ahead and select Start Your Proposal, which will bring you to our Call for Proposals page. At the top of this page, you'll see that you can go back to obtain certain information for convention, but we're going to focus on the call for submissions information and instructions. So these are drop down tabs. If you click on them, it'll tell you that describe the overview of information that you'll be providing throughout your proposal. So essentially you're going to provide specific submission information like your title, descriptions, and so on. You will enter your planner, your presenters, affiliation, all that information. You will also need to include, like I said, a description. And lastly, it will be your confirmation, which you will receive once you successfully submitted a proposal. And as I stated earlier, once you start a proposal, you will obtain a presentation ID and a password. This is where you would input it so that you can log back in and be able to edit or make changes or withdraw your submission prior to the August 14th deadline. Alrighty, so as you can see, we are going to submit a presentation submission. So I'm going to select the first one that says presentation submission. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Wait for the countdown. Okay, so now we are on the member login page. So if you already have an account, you will enter your credentials here, your username and password. If you do not, we invite you to create a free profile and give us a try. You do not need to be a member to submit a proposal, but you do need to create an account. If you have any questions or concerns, please call member services at 800-213-7193 extension 1490 or email us at membership@shapeamerica.org. So I'm going to go ahead and input my credentials. I have them saved to my computer and I'm going to sign in. Okay, so at this point, if you have followed the previous steps on the original submission page, all of the speakers and co-presenters should have read the presenter agreement. So whoever is submitting this proposal, you need to make sure that all your co-presenters or co-speakers have read the presenter agreement and prior to accepting these terms and conditions. So please take some time to read over that. And then once you're in agreement, go ahead and select I have read and agreed to the terms and conditions. Okay. So next is your session title. So for your presentation title, you will type in your title, which I'm going to go ahead and do now. Practice, presentation, submission. I'm going to put sub. Okay, so that's my presentation or my session title. In this case, to show you how to submit a presentation. Um, Make sure that everything is in title case only, and make sure that you read the instructions as you go along. Okay. After that, your submitter email will automatically populate once you've signed into your Shape America account as a submitter of this proposal. If it does not, or you do not have a Shape America account, you can create one for free on our shapeamerica.org website. You do not have to be a Shape America member to submit a proposal. Alrighty, so presentation type. Select the presentation type. All presentation submissions are scheduled for 60-minute intervals. So go ahead and just select that. Then select your category, which I suggested earlier to please review that as they've slightly changed this year. So you select your category, and then you would select the subcategory that best fits your proposal. Okay, And then, oh, like I said, there is a resource document about the categories on our proposals homepage, which I showed you earlier. Next, you'll select your intended audience. You can select up to 4 applicable audiences. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. I'm just gonna pick 4 with my computer. That's me. There we go. Okay. So up next is the ideal session attendance, which is used by Shape America in planning to help select appropriate room sizes when scheduling. So you will go ahead and do that. So let us know what your expected audience may be. And then the following question is to select whether you or a co-presenter are first-time presenters. So I'm gonna go ahead and select no. I'm gonna select my attendance. And then answer the following question. Are there any presenters on this session that are Teachers of the Year or Shape America National Teachers of the Year? So you will indicate that here as well. Um, Next, select whether a participant will need special accommodations due to a disability. If you select yes, you can explain all the other details here in this following box, but it's not required. After that is your room setup. Let us know if you will need, uh, well, first of all, select which room setup best fits your session. So, for example, theater seating, which is rows of interlocked chairs, round tables, which is round table seating of 8 to 10 individuals per table, an activity space, which is an open space with chairs surrounding the perimeter of the room. So I'm gonna go ahead and select round tables in my case. Um, Please select the room setup that will best fit what you're trying to accomplish during your session. Next is your AV equipment. Let us know if you need any AV equipment like a screen or audio hookup. I'm gonna go ahead and select all 3 because you can select all 3, or you can simply select no equipment required. Okay. And then I'm gonna go ahead and scroll up. The following question says, if AV equipment was unavailable for your session, would you be able to adjust your session to accommodate the lack of AV? Please let us know. Will you, yes or no? Alrighty. Please note, Shape America does not provide laptops, CDs, or DVD players, extension cords, or laser pointers. While a selection of dongles to connect laptops to LCD projectors will be available, we do recommend presenters bring their own dongles and connectors just in case we don't have that specific one. If accepted to the 2026 Shape America National Convention Expo program, planners indicating their need for activity equipment will receive additional communication regarding how to reserve activity equipment for their session. And then please let us know, will you need activity equipment? Yes or no? So go ahead and make that selection here. It is important that you let us know, that way we know whether to follow up. All right. Um, We ask that you please review and read the following and then select that you understand. Um, that's the next box. It's regarding equipment for sessions. I already know what it states. You can take a moment to read it and then select you understand and agree. All right. Next, please review the list of available equipment in the Shape America equipment closet here. After reviewing this list, if are there any additional types of equipment you may need that aren't currently represented on this list? So you can select the here word and review that equipment. If that is the case, please let us know, yes or no. If you answer yes to this question, what additional equipment do you need? that is not reflected on the Shape America equipment closet list. Please be as specific as possible to include specific equipment names, go for SKUs numbers, quantities. Please note that entering equipment into the space does not guarantee that it will be available for this year's convention, but it does help us know what most of our participants and speakers need. Okay. So before moving on, make sure you hit save. You always want to make sure you hit save at the bottom. So I'm selecting save. Okay, so if all the information was inputted correctly, the application will automatically direct you to the next step. If there's an arrow, a red box will appear at the top of the screen and will tell you, please correct the arrows highlighted below in red. And then you'll make the appropriate changes, hit save, and try to submit that step again. Um, so I've done that. So I've been sent to step two, which is people information. But in order to move on to step three, which is the description, you will need at least to list at least one planner and one presenter. Now, for presentations, the planner and presenter could be the same person, but again, you have to make sure you check both boxes, the planner box and the presenter box. If that individual is the planner and the presenter. If the individual is just a planner, you would just click planner. If the presenter is just the presenter, you would click just presenter. For this purpose, I'm going to list myself as both the planner and the presenter. Please know that the planner is not automatically listed as a presenter in the program unless you specifically check the box that states that they're also a presenter. Please note that only presenters are listed on our online program and our mobile app. So please let us know. A planner for a submission receives all communications for the session from Shape America and is responsible for communicating that information with all of the listed presenters. So please make sure your planner and presenters are aware of the planner responsibilities. Only planners can request changes for a session. So that being said, if you list someone else as a planner and you are submitting this proposal, you will not receive notifications regarding this proposal. Only the individual that you list as a planner will receive all communications from Shape America presenters. And if for some reason the submitter is not the planner, will not receive communications from Shape America. Only the individual listed as a planner. Before adding a new name, we ask that you please search this database to see if the name you're looking for appears. For example, if I put myself, I can look myself up with my email here. I should be in the system. So my name should pop up, which it does. It's right here. So I'll go ahead and select. As you can see, I can select and edit as well. So if I select and edit, I can go in here and update my information, provide as much information as possible, make sure your affiliation and all the requirement fields are inputted. Otherwise, it will not allow you to continue. For example, you see this pop-up red arrow. This is what I was referring to earlier. If something's missing, it will tell you in this red box, like, hey, this is missing. In this case, it's saying, please select an affiliation for me. So I'm gonna scroll down and do that. So I'm gonna go ahead and check this box because I want to use this affiliation. And always hit that save and continue box. I can add a new person here. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Let's see. For in this case, I'm gonna add someone who might not be in the system. Let's see. If I search them like this, first and last name, as you can see, this person is not in the system. So I will need to complete the form below and then hit save and continue. But for this case, I'm not gonna add this person. I'm just gonna add myself as both the planner and presenter for this specific proposal. If you need to add or delete a person, as you can see, you can do that here. You can edit a person, you can delete a person, you can add a new person. I'm gonna go ahead and add a new person because I would like to show you another feature that you can utilize. So let me do here. So I'm gonna look up someone else that I know is in the system. I'm gonna select. Okay, so now I have myself and someone else. As you can see, there's these orange arrows. So if you need to adjust the order of presenters, you may do so by selecting these orange arrows. Like, for example, I'm gonna make Audra the first presenter. So I moved her up. Just make sure you hit save. Otherwise, it will not save the new order of presenters. Okay, so presenters have the opportunity to submit a photo of themselves as part of their submission. This photo will be added to our speaker database and displayed in our online program. We accept JPG and PNG formats for all speaker photos. If you are the submitter, please ensure you are collecting preferred photos from the presenters you are listing on your session before uploading them to the speaker database, because once you submit, you cannot add additional photos or make changes to the existing ones. So once these photos are up, they're up. So please make sure with them specifically that they are 100% sure that that is the image they want to use for as like their headshot for their name when they're listed on our online program. Okay. So once everyone has been added and the order is correct, of course, always make sure you hit that save, and then we can move on to step number 3, which is the description. Writing. So if you look at the above tabs, you'll notice that the setup, session, and people has an orange and white check next to it to represent that we've completed those steps. You're not allowed to skip ahead throughout a proposal submission, but you can go back if you need to make any changes. Make sure you always select save at the bottom of each step whenever you make a change. The easiest way to go back without saving is by selecting these top tabs. For example, I can go back to setup session. As you can see, it'll let me go back. And I'm working in progress on description, so let me go back there. Okay. Alrighty, so the description, let me scroll up here. The description text must not exceed 150 words. You can either copy the text from a document or you can type directly into the box. So for example, here I'm gonna type, okay? And then so always make sure you select save and continue. Which brings us to learning objectives. 3 learning objectives are required um, to be placed in each one of these boxes. Do not number your objectives, but you need 3 total to basically get to the confirmation page. The learning objectives should complete the statement. After attending this session, the attendees will be able to blank. Each learning objective should be addressed by the speakers and should use measurable terms such as explain, describe, distinguish, design, apply, and so on. At the top of the page, you can find a list of all the measurable terms that you can utilize. Each learning objective must begin with one of those words, or your application will get an error message. Okay? So I'm going to go ahead and select one of these words. So I'm going to indicate, do state, oh, make sure you're selecting. And I'll say Select Save. For the last step, we ask that you please proofread what you have entered before selecting Submit at the bottom of the page. If you need to make any changes, click on the appropriate step on the session control panel here at the top. Make sure you select the Submit button under the last step, or we will not have your completed submission in our database. So make sure you review all your information and select this Submit button, or we will not have your submission. So once you click Submit at the top of the page, so let me see, Submit. At the top of the page, you'll see this statement, Successful Session Submission. You'll have the opportunity to print the page, which we encourage you to do for your records. And the system will automatically generate a confirmation email to the listed submitter's email when you have successfully completed your proposal submission. Please note that the confirmation email only goes to the listed submitter on that session. These two forms of confirmation will inform you that you have successfully submitted your proposal. On the column on the left-hand side, you have the option to view your submission or withdraw your session, submit another session, print, report any technical issues, or log out. If you do not see the left column, you can access it by selecting this arrow or these three lines. Remember that if you ever want to log back into your presentation, refer to the email you received upon submission initiation or the confirmation email sent to your proposal's submitter's email that the submitter provided. So the email address the submitter provided. If at any time you have questions regarding your proposal, please email proposals@shapeamerica.org or call Shape America at 703-476-3400. Thank you for supporting Shape America and sharing your presentation with the Shape America community.